Okay, here is the fourth graph on here. I screwed up the third one. Sorry about that. Let's see. We're first going to dab here, find the D, the midline. It looks like that's 5 and that's -3. So halfway between there, so it's +1 is our midline. So D, our vertical translation, is +1. A, amplitude. What's the distance from there to there? Well, looks like our amplitude is 4. We'll figure out later if this is positive or negative amplitude. Okay, let's figure out what our B is. Let's see, how do we figure this out? B can go from peak to peak or from midline to midline. Uh-oh, this one looks like the maximum is off the y-axis, so I think we're going to have some kind of a phase shift. But let's see if we can measure this out here. This is 2 pi plus a little bit. This is 6 pi plus a little bit. It sounds to me like the period equals 4 pi. Okay, so if we set that period equal to 2 pi over b, and now we have to solve for b. There's a little trick here where you can, let me change the pen color. You can switch the places of the denominator and the left side. You can just remember that, and you can rewrite it as b equals 2 pi over 4 pi. But algebraically, why does that work? Well, here, let's look at it this way. Isn't 4 equal to 8 divided by 2? Well, of course it is. Let's say if I multiply both sides of the equation by 2, right? So that gives me 2 times 4 equals 8 because these cancel out, right? And then what happens if I move the 4 now? Let's move the 4 over here. So isn't these cancel out? Isn't 2 equal to 8 divided by 4? Yeah, of course it is. See, that's all I did. From my original equation, the 2 and the 4, I switched their places, which is exactly what I did up here. So then you can just simplify this right here, cancel out the pi. So b in this case equals 1/2. So our b, we have 1/2 cycle in 2 pi. And then the last thing we have to do, according to this document right here, read number 4. Okay, let's go back here. Let's see, this graph, it looked like it was here and it moved right. Pi, this is pi over 2, so this is pi over 4. It looked like this was moved to the right, pi over 4. So the right is plus pi over 4. So we're going to change that sign and say C equals negative pi over 4. That's what we're going to write in the equation. So this overall equation is, let's change colors one more time. Let's go this one. Oh, what is it, by the way? Since our maximum, our minimum is close to the y-axis, that's going to be cosine. And because the minimum is closest to the y-axis, that means it's negative amplitude. So we have y equals -4 and then cosine. And then we go with our b in parentheses. Our b is 1/2. And then we have x minus pi over 4 because we moved it to the right. And then finish up with our vertical translation. Oh my goodness, so much stuff to do on one graph. That's it for this video.